Hi, Jason here for CounterSlam, and I'm doing another model review. Right now I'm doing the new jack kit that came out, and I magnetized mine, as you're going to probably notice and probably post on YouTube. I put the backpack and actually glued the backpack on the back of all my models just because I found the back of this kit to be similar to the other one that we have, and I really like the look of the backpack on all of them. They call it a backpack. It's just the cords for the modulator to go to his guns actually funnel in through there. But I really like the way the piece looked. I really loved the way this jack looks. I don't think that the pictures on the Predator website do it justice. When you get it, you see it in person. It really is a nice looking model. It was fun to paint, easy to put together, and really easy to turn into a magnetized kit. Another thing you might notice is it is possible for me to sort of pin the modulator's cords in there. I haven't done that. I don't find that to be necessary, and I still think this meets the requirements for as far as the being steamroller legal. So I'm just not going to put myself through that headache. But feel free. I don't think it'll be too hard if you choose to do that. This is the modulator. He is the cheapest heavy that we have. I see a lot of potential for him, but I do find that he is the least talked about out of the three heavy vectors out of this kit. All of these heavies inherently have Pathfinder. They float, and they have fewer boxes, of course, than the other kit. Slightly higher defense, even though I don't, it's not going to help a lot. It goes from 10 to 11, and the arm is one less standard, at least for the modulator's case. So with an arm of 18, the modulator itself does electrical attacks and is immune to electricity, and it has two range 11 guns, rate of fire 1, and they do POW 10s. And the way they work is sort of like an unrandom chain lightning, I want to say. So you shoot at your target, and you draw a line from the center of your target to the center of the modulator's base, and every model on that gets hit on that line also takes a POW 10, and it's not considered a ranged attack. So you can there's 6 points, so you can use like 2 of them relatively inexpensively to sort of ping pong each other, since they're immune to electrical attacks, and they do electrical damage with their guns, sort of zapping everything in between them, and you can control basically what you hit by the placement of your pair of modulators. Servitors are really cheap, so you can move those, and with the backstrike bonus, even with the rat of like Aurora, or even someone low like Axis or Lucan, you should be able to hit relatively easily. And then, of course, your standard enemy attack. They have two POW 14 melee attacks with their guns, which isn't that impressive, but if you throw positive charge on them in a pinch, they could do some decent damage. Or I'm thinking Syntherian list at the end of a synergy chain. Since they're so cheap, these are almost spammable. They also have an ability to where if they get hit by a melee attack, if it's a plasma nimbus, that's what it's called, sorry. If this model is hit by a melee attack, immediately after that attack is resolved, the attacker takes a POW 10 electrical damage roll. But this model can't be removed from play. Has to still be there after they make their attack. Which, again, under Liu Kang's feet, you know, buff their armor up to 22, just set them out there, he's 6 points, sort of bait them in. Could be interesting. I haven't play tested him yet, but I am interested in seeing how he does on the field. I see a lot of potential here in certain lists, like I said, with Liu Kang, with Iron Mother's spell that increases the range attacks of her battle group, fire group. A lot of potential there, and then with her spell, her servitor is putting essentially harm on everybody. Can also increase his damage output there. So, and on her feet turn, he's a lot more reliable to hit stuff. So, a lot of potential there. The next Jack, the Conservator, is he has Shield Guard. So for casters like Axis who like to be up there in the thick of things and likes to take their cheap small base, he likes to take cheap small base infantry. I've seen him, played him, and he's gotten shot off the table. I could see him taking 1 or 2 of the Conservators because they have built-in Shield Guard. Conservator also has, like I said, they all have inherent Pathfinder, and they actually, since the Conservator has 2 bucklers on his arms, providing Shield Guard, he actually has a higher base armor than our first kit of vectors. The POW of the base attacks of the Conservator are 15. And then again, he has a lower set of boxes from our first set of vectors. And again, another way to increase damage output of this guy is pairing him in certain lists. So Axis's feet, turn, Iron Mother's harm, positive charge from Father Liu Kang. Although, you know, Shield Guard is sort of doubling over there. I don't really see you taking a Conservator and Liu Kang list. But with Hand of Vengeance, with 1 or more friendly warrior models that are destroyed or removed from play by enemy attacks while within 5 inches of a Conservator, this model gains +2 on attack and damage rolls, so he goes from 15 to 17. Throw on positive charge, he's a 19, and he's hitting very reliably and very hard with 2 initial attacks. He is 8 points. So 7 points, sorry, my bad. So he is relatively inexpensive and can hit really hard in certain lists. So I really want to try 1 or 2 of these in an Axis list, and even an Aurora list. I know you have the Steel Souls there for her, but with Apparition, I'd like to see some of the shenanigans I can pull off, getting Conservator in some rough spots, especially with warrior models dying around him. So he can be a tough nut to crack with his high armor. So a lot of potential up there, and the cost, you know, with the high armor at base armor 20, and Hand of Vengeance, and the cost at 7 points, there's a lot of potential upside there. The last heavy, the Assimilator, and this has been the most talked about and the most wanted heavy vector since War Room came out and basically all the stats of our vectors were released. This has been the most wanted, the most talked about heavy vector. It has Ground Pounder, and if you're familiar with Siege from Signar, basically you get to put a 4-inch template anywhere completely within the range of that weapon. The range of this weapon being 11, which gets boosted in an Iron Mother list from Fire Group. And the way Ground Pounder would work, if you would make an attack roll, ignoring stealth, cover, concealment, to every model within that 4-inch template. Now it's their individual attack rolls, so you don't boost once and every model gets a boosted attack roll against in the 4-inch template. So I could see Hot Shot from Syntherion being good to put on him, just to boost damage rolls for free. But you're going to want to aim, you're going to want attunement servitors to drop defense. Any way to boost a hit. Iron Mother's feet turn will help quite a bit. And all those attack roll, the damage are POW 12 damage rolls. He can fire the gun just as a regular ranged attack AoE 4, and that's a POW 13 if you choose to do it that way. So depending on if you want blast damage, if you're going against low armor, I could see choosing the normal ranged attack rather than the ground pounder. If you have high defense, can't boost all those attack rolls, go for the regular 4-inch blast and take them out using that that method. Boost a hit on the first one, hit that model, and then rely on the blast to take out those high defense low armor models. He is the first Warjack that I've seen, if memory serves, that has Weapon Master on his melee attack. So the Crazy Claw there is a non-reach Weapon Master Open Fist, POW 14. And again, listing the other ways that I've talked about with the Conservator, the harm from Iron Mother, positive charge, Axis' feet turn. You can increase the damage output out of that. Now that's only one initial melee attack, but provided the right situation, he can really crank out the damage. Also the melee attack has a very situational rule, but it has assimilation in it, and that states that when you destroy an enemy model that has construct, so if you're playing against Convergence, any other Warjack will count, or even the Wolves from Circle of Ouroboros. If you destroy a model that has construct with this weapon, immediately after the attack is resolved, you heal D3 damage, which fairly situational, but could be useful in a pinch. So he can really rain out the destruction, and Syntherion's feet turn, charge, Weapon Master, really hurt somebody that way, ground pound somebody. On Syntherion's feet turn, so he's really interesting, and I'm interested in trying him again. Just as with anything in Convergence, it's all about the right lists, and not to be cliche, but it is a clockwork faction. Everything synergizes with itself. Everything seems to be dependent on another piece to really make it shine, one or two pieces in some cases. So would I use an Assimilator in every list? No, but I do see, again, Iron Mother's feet turn, Fire Group would really help his range attack. I'm really looking forward to using the ground pounder rule during her feet turn, especially if you got an attunement servitor, flare, cipher, potentially lower the defense even further. I see a lot of potential there as well. So hope this has been helpful, and I really suggest buying the kit. Like I said before, they are all really easy to magnetize, and I think they look great. So have fun out there.